Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge von Vampyr. Ja, wir müssen das Blut analysieren. Gucken wir mal hier. Herstellung. Du hast ausreichend Bestandteile, um eine deiner Waffen zu verbessern. Drücke. Okay. ...65, die macht 45 Schaden. Die macht 999, 10 Schaden, 160 und 45. Dann tun wir noch die aufwerten. Waffenaufwertung. Du kannst deine Waffe mit der erforderlichen Bestandteilen auf eine neue Stufe aufwerten. Sie verursachen mehr Schaden und du erhältst außerdem Zugang zu Plätzen zur Modifizierung. Mhm. Bastelstunde. Modifizierung. Erhöhter Schaden verursacht Schaden um 10% erhöht. Oder nimmt Blutpunkte auf, wenn die Waffe trifft. Das hört sich besser an.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Gut, da gehen wir schlafen. Einfach bestätigen. Einfach schlafen. Nichts anderes.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Was? Sieh eine Tür nach. Mit Nachtsicht. Unbekannt.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Überhaupt keine Septika. Hier sind keine, sie haben hier nichts zu suchen.
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Gut. Wir gehen aber erstmal auch dann in den Hinterhof. In den Garten.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Was finden die verlorene Geldbörse im Garten? Und da sind wir gestorben. Zum ersten Mal. Wie sieht der Game Over Stream aus? Du wurdest besiegt. Okay, suchen wir die Geldbörse erst nochmal.
It's locked, all right.
Alter, wenn ich den Hemden aussauge, Alter, 3000 EP. Bissige, kräftige Blutprobe. Aha. Fotografie einer Brieftasche. Das Foto eines verliebt lächelndes Pärchen. Auf der Rückseite steht Milton und Pia. Für immer. Muss mir wohl mal glauben, dass es da hinten drauf steht. Weil ich kann leider das nicht drehen. Bring die Geldbörse zu ihrem Besitzer. Wer war der Besitzer von denen nochmal? Der Besitzer ist irgendwo in der Richtung.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Kann ich auf der Karte sehen, wo der ist? Ach, den muss ich suchen. Milton Hawks. Wo ist denn der gerade eben? Halt. Der ist mir noch unbekannt.
sure that during your
Ich rede mal mit dem Doktor
you
hier.
have all...
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Handeln. Erstmal fragen wir hier. Keine Angst vor den Toten. Sind wir uns schon mal begegnet? Arbeiten Sie hier alleine?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Warum die Leichenhalle schließen? Warum warum auf die Leiche aufpassen?
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Aha.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Die meisten fürchten sich vor dem toten Fleisch. Wie haben Sie diese Arbeit bekommen?
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Okay.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Unsere Schwester kam hierher, okay. Sie sind Pfandleiher. Glauben Sie an ein Leben nach dem Tod?
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Wer kommt hierher, um Geschäfte zu machen? Was für Waren verkaufen Sie? Erstmal das.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Mhm. Und was kaufen die?
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Okay.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Wohlwollen Wohlwollen ist nicht von Dauer, also sind sie bereit zu sterben.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reid, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Mhm. Was ist mit
Please show
Handlung?
me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Eine rätselhafte Formel? Okay, nee.
It's locked. It's locked.
Ihre Stadt braucht sie. Jedes Leben, das
I'm
durch...
sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Darf ich auch mal wieder? Durch effiziente medizinische Hilfe gerettet wird, ist ein Stich ins Herz. Die Epidemie, Freiwillige machen den Unterschied. Melden Sie sich beim nächsten Regierung Registrierungsbüro, das Ministerium für Arbeit und Wehrdienst. Oder schreiben Sie an 15 Kingsway, London. Mhm. So, wo ist jetzt dann...
The Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reid, you know. I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
Warte.
I know I can count on you. I wish I could say the same for the others.
Unbekannt.
Exhausted.
Unbekannt.
Yourself too hard. You don't
Da ist unser Freund.
bear the burdens of this hospital alone.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Ich habe ihre Geldbörse gefunden.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reid.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
In Verzweiflung zueinander gefunden. Sie können beide dafür gefeuert werden.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reid. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Ja, da hat er recht. Gut. Dann handeln wir mal.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Okay, bei denen kann man Waffen kaufen oder Teile dafür. Da waren gerade noch zwei andere Leute da. Genau, er. Und wo ist die andere? Da war doch noch eine andere. Erschöpfung. Ach, da ist sie.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Sprechen Sie.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Da kann man es dann auch persönlich fragen. Gibt's nichts. Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Gut. Ich würde sagen, wie es hier, weil in der Leichenhalle gehen. Was geht jetzt mit der ab? Na, in der Leichenhalle gehen wir in der nächsten Folge. Ich sag vielen herzlichen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Haut rein. Ciao. Achso, ich stand im Weg, deswegen. Also, ciao, ne?